back to Puerto Galera today. It's been almost 3 years. Haven't been there since before the lockdowns. Trick is, hit a Jamliner station, look for a bus with Batangas City Pier in the window. Kind of an aggravating little shuffle to get into the port at Puerto Galera. You have to show your medical tyranny paperwork, and then you have to go through like an insurance post where you have to pay 50 pesos for your COVID insurance. Really? So if I get sick and I have paid my 50 pesos worth of COVID insurance, what are they going to do? Pay for my hospitalization and all my medication because I paid them 50 pesos? No, it's a money grab, and it's BS. Even though it's only 50 pesos, it's an odious concept. Whatever. Going to Puerto Galera can't be that bad. All right, so here at the Port of Batangas, everything is brand new. It's a new facility, everything's indoors, ticketing offices, restaurant type deal. However, they have their heads up their ass. They basically cancel every trip from Batangas to Puerto Galera except the last trip. So if you show up at 10 a.m. for the 10 a.m. boat, they tell you have to wait till 2. If you show up at noon for the noon boat, you still have to wait till 2. And then when you try to buy your ticket for your boat to make sure you can get on it, they tell you they won't sell you the ticket until 2 hours before the boat leaves. So it's like that in the Philippines. I mean, you want to go to the beach, and you want to go cheap, despite the fact that they've doubled the cost of the ferry from Batangas to Puerto Galera. You're still going pretty cheap as far as the relative scheme of things go. But it turns your 4-hour trip basically into a 7-hour trip. They've solved the problem for you here in the Philippines. This little confusion issue, right? They just call you person with disability. Fastcraft. Oh, he's shy. Great opportunity to be able to sit outside today on the crossing from Batangas to Puerto Galera. Normally on these fast cats, they make you sit inside, but it'd be nice. Lots of changes here in Puerto Galera. Talk about some of those in this video, but what has not changed is the beach life. It is fantastic. It is chill. It is not crowded. It is the off season, despite the fact that it's like summertime here in October in the Philippines. Yeah, some changes will probably end up being really good for this region. They're doing a lot of reconstruction. Unfortunately, while they're doing the reconstruction, they're shutting down half of the businesses, which is why the nightlife here is next to non-existent. But hey, I don't really come to Puerto Galera for the nightlife, at least not anymore. Not like it was in 2018, which you can see videos of. But walking distance from here, the waterfalls, and because it's so incredibly hot today, the sun is so hot, thinking about heading up to the falls where the water is just bone-chillingly cold. I mean, it's pouring down out of the mountains despite the heat. A cold dip like that is so system shocking and invigorating. Like, looking forward to that. But in the meantime, the beaches are still beautiful. I hear Sabang nightlife has picked up a bit. There's a new live music joint. There's a new burlesque show bar. Maybe we'll get a chance to check some of that out during this trip. This is really, really new. I mean, they've really built up the walkway here. Pretty decent sized room. A lot of bed space. Get the party going later. This is the White Beach Resort, where I've actually never stayed before. I know what's going on next door. Oh! Well, at least the jam house is still open. We're all Party bars that at one time were show bars that became like karaoke bars. And now they're all pretty much getting closed down for this renovation. This was always one of my favorite little restaurant bars here on the beach. Fish and chips, salad, bangers and mash. Wow.
Homemade chicken pot pie.
Beautiful day for a photo shoot. This morning it was nice and breezy and not too hot. Now that it's getting a little later in the day, it's only 10 a.m. but the sun is coming out and it is hot today. Bunch of beautiful shots this morning. Happy about that. Even got some good video, although I don't know if I'll be able to show you all of that. Maybe for members only. Another incredible, beautiful sunny day here in Puerto Galera. Crossing the rocks here at the end of White Beach, head over to the Tamarau, Talipan, and then the Aninawan Beach. We'll see. It's like summertime here. As soon as you cross the rocks, it's the Tamarau Beach. There's a beach resort here, and these beaches are just so much more secluded and private and deserted than the White Beach. That's why I head down to the Aninawan and Talipan beaches, because they're just pristine. This is the Sunset at Aninawan Beach Resort, which is probably one of the nicest little chill resorts on the beach. And they rebuilt the beach cabana bar, so that's a plus. This one is the biggest, most kick-ass private little beach spot. Passed through the native village on the way up to the Talipan Falls. It's a nice adventure trek, but it's really not that far from the beach. You can buy all kinds of native goods here. At the bottom of the trail, up the falls, the end of the village, they've obviously been doing a lot of work. This spillway, I guess, runs all the way through the village now. You can see it's a clear trail. You can see how it's double stacked here. Somebody made this. Yeah, so if you know what you're looking for back here, as far as like trailblazing and path marking and that kind of thing go, you're probably going to be able to find your way up to the falls pretty easily without a guide. Although if it is your first time, I would definitely recommend going with a guide. I got lost up here once and ended up hiking a lot more than I wanted to. If you know what to look for, like rocks like this, The path up is pretty easy to follow. And then there's the areas where you actually have to climb. You're climbing up there. The trail is definitely well marked if you know what to look for. And an example of that, see how these stones are set in here? They're basically making steps for you. Or the path is obviously worn like that. And it's kind of windy and narrow, like it leads down to the falls. And there's spots you really gotta watch your step. Talipanin Falls here at Puerto Galera, probably one of the nearest falls to the Aninoan Beach or the White Beach, but it's a bit of a climb to get here. If you don't mind a trek, but don't want the climb, check out the Aninoan Falls. I got a video about that. But definitely worth the hike. There's a lot more coming up from Puerto Galera, like Sabang nightlife, which is pretty wild, unedited bikini shoots for members of the channel only. Definitely a good rocking time in Sabang. It's the only place in Puerto Galera you're gonna find the good nightlife now. And of course, more exploring and adventures in the fantastic tropical wilderness that is Puerto Galera.
Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe.